How you doing, guys? Welcome to the Fit for 90 podcast. I am your host, Cayman Bandel, footballer and strength and conditioning coach. Today, we're going to be talking about the off-season, the very special window of opportunity that every single one of us have in front of us over the coming 8 to 10 weeks. This is the most underrated window in the football calendar, in my opinion, and most players waste it. What you're going to do now and what you're going to do over these next kind of 8 to 10 weeks is going to show up in pre-season. So today, we're going to break it down and look at why you should be maximizing this window that every single one of us have in front of us. We're coming to that time of year now, really, where some of you are kind of finishing up your seasons. Some of you have kind of already switched off mentally and physically. And I get that because you've had a long season. But this period right now is probably the most important window of the entire year. And I always see players time and time again, they just completely waste it. And it's like, I wish I could just shake them and say, like, the reason why you're dropping off in the season, the reason why you're getting niggled, the reason why you're sitting on the bench, the reason why you can't get through 90 minutes is because you missed this window. And this window is like critical for what you do later in the summer and then going into the new season. Now, a really important part of this is what you do now isn't going to show up next week. The work you do now shows up in 2-3 months' time. There's a compound effect of the work that you do now. There's also a lag effect. The lag effect is something I speak about a lot with my players inside the program. The work we do now is going to show up in 6, 8, 12 weeks' time. We live in a world of instant gratification right now. I could press a button on my phone to order something and it'll probably be here by 10 p.m. this evening. We can click their fingers and we've got food at a door. We've got things that we want. We can press a button on a remote and watch whatever we want. But with performance and with fitness, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If you want to get yourself into the best physical shape, it's going to take hard graft, it's going to take hard work, and it's going to take time. And you need to be consistent with this during that time that you're training. So what we do now is going to show up in 2-3 months' time. You have to accept that, but you also have to be willing to do the work, but also enjoying the process along the way. It's easy to kind of get tied down to what the end goal is, but if we look at the day-to-day habits, the day-to-day things that we need to tick off, that's where you really start to kind of lock in. And I always say to my players is like, just try and like focus on one day at a time and do things that you enjoy on those individual days. Like, don't think too far ahead. Try and tick off the little wins on that day. Like, what have you done well? What are you grateful for? And also looking at what hasn't gone well and saying, okay, maybe I can do that better tomorrow. And like, just trying to be that little bit better each day. And that over time puts you in a position when you look back and think, Jesus Christ, like 3 months ago, I was looking like that, or I was performing like this, or I couldn't even get to like 80 kg, and now I'm doing 110 kilograms on the squat. Like, little things like that add up very, very quickly. But the player you are in pre-season is going to be built right now, not in July, not in August. It's too late by then. So you have to think a little bit long term with this. Now, why is the off-season different? Why is this such a special window of opportunity? Well, during the season, we're managing fatigue. We're trying to stay fresh for football and for team sessions, which is the priority, which is fine. It means you can't push everything. It means you can't train everything all the time because freshness and recovery take priority. So during the season, building things and building your performance and building the base and building strength and maybe some lean muscle, trying to lose body fat, it becomes harder during the season. But with the off season, suddenly we've got no games. There's no need to taper off at the end of the week, so you're fresh for match day. There's no commitment in terms of team training. There's less time traveling. You've got more freedom. And this is the only time of year where you can truly build. Even in preseason, it's difficult because you've got so much load from team sessions. We can still build during the preseason, but off-season is a time you can really maximize it. And in terms of the qualities that you can maximize, we're looking at strength. We can do proper strength training without worrying about fatigue for football, fatigue for training or games. We can work on your speed, get real good speed exposure twice a week, even. Very hard to do in season, but off season you can get speed exposure twice a week very, very easily. You can work on your mechanics because you've got more time to get gym exposure. You can build out your conditioning base, so you can really kind of develop the stamina that's required to be able to go for 90 minutes and recover from those high intensity efforts that you perform on a football pitch. Doing that during the season, extra running and extra conditioning is very, very hard. You can do little top-ups in the season, but it's not necessarily going to make you fitter or build that base out. It's just going to maintain what you've got, especially if you're not playing a lot of minutes. Doing conditioning top-ups can be beneficial in season, but you're never going to build fitness, which is then going to help you throughout the whole season. That's what the summer months are really, really for, to be able to build out that base. And also, most importantly, I think we can fix weaknesses, which potentially we've ignored for the last few months, maybe ignored all season. So the way we think of it is like in season, we're maintaining what we've built in the off season, but off season is the time to build. Also, the time of recording this, the day of recording this, is April right now. We're coming to the end of April, almost in May. Summer's coming. Like, we all like to look good. There's holidays, there's more social events, there's barbecues. You want to look good, you want to be confident, you want to be feeling good within yourself. So being able to lock into a structure where you're focusing on maybe getting leaner, maybe focusing on building more lean muscle mass, by focusing on improving your conditioning, by focusing on improving your speed. The result of doing all of these things is, or the byproduct of doing all of these things even, is that you actually start to look better. And I think that's a massive part. I speak to my players all the time, especially this time of year, like improving body composition as well as performance. They can both be done at the same time, but often the body composition side of things comes from your nutrition. The performance side of things comes from what you do when you actually step into the gym. This isn't just about aesthetics. If we look at that, if we take that and we say, okay, well, we're going to look better, we're going to be leaner, we're going to have more muscle mass, we're going to have more strength, we're going to feel more confident. But then also less body fat means less non-essential mass. So that means on a football pitch, it's easier to move. It means we can do more repeat, high-intensity efforts. It means you're going to have better endurance. Just by getting leaner, this is like the low-hanging fruit for so many players. You get a little bit leaner and all of these qualities start to improve without even really training them. So getting lean isn't just about looking better, it's actually about moving better. Now, the mistake I see a lot of players make is it gets to this time of year, they switch off completely and they think, I saw it in pre-season. I'm just going to chill out, get down the beer garden, get on the beers, doing that suddenly every weekend, maybe a couple of times a week. You lose structure, you lose momentum, and you're not just pausing your progress, you're reversing what you've built, what you've worked so hard to build during the season. This is a mistake I made when I was younger. I used to build speed, strength, sharpness. I used to finish the season really, really strong. And a little bit how I am now, like I feel good finishing the season. Physically, I'm in good shape right now. But I don't want to make that same mistake I've made when I was younger. I don't want to lose that progress because it's so hard to build back up. I would rather maintain and then actually think, okay, where are my weaknesses? So I'd rather maintain my strengths and say, maybe I need to work on my speed or my acceleration, or maybe I want to try and improve my stamina even more. Like that's a strength of mine at the moment anyway. So maybe I want to improve my strength. Maybe I want to get stronger in the legs, or maybe I want to build a bit more lean muscle mass, whatever it might be. Those weaknesses, that's the time we build. Like now's the time we build that. But the off season isn't about trying to train everything at once. It's about looking at what you need as an individual. Where are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What do we need to develop to overall make you a better athlete so that when you show up to pre-season for that first session, you've got that quiet confidence knowing I'm the fittest player here. And now I'm going to intensify and almost sharpen the blade so that when the season starts, I'm going to be head and shoulders above everyone else physically from an athletic standpoint. And as a result of that, you'll be able to perform the technical side of the game and the tactical side of the game better, because you're not thinking about how tired you are, because you're not thinking about the lack of fitness. And we see this time and time again, players tend to carry out instructions better from the manager, performing things better on a football pitch. So like from the technical side of the game, they're able to make better passes, they're able to win more headers. All of those things which require a level of fitness, which is everything on a football pitch, they can do better because they're not thinking about, I'm really, really tired, or my legs are starting to go a little bit. Maybe I won't make that run because I'm just going to save my legs. You don't have to even think about that because you know you can just keep going for 90 minutes. But the off-season isn't about going all out and killing yourself every single session either. It's about having a structure. It's about being consistent. And it's about having intent behind what you're doing every time you go into the gym or you go into the local pitch. Like what's the intention behind what I'm doing? You don't need to be perfect with the off-season, but you definitely need to be consistent, because that's what's going to set you apart. A lot of players right now, and the way I always look at it is like average athletes will switch off right now. They won't really care too much what they're doing. The better athletes will start to probably maintain what they've built, and then maybe look a little bit further into the summer to start actually trying to kind of lock in to proper training that's going to prepare them for the season. But the top athletes, they will be building from now. And the gap that you see next season between a player who can last 90 minutes and one that can't, it starts now. We see it time and time again every single year. I've been doing this over 10 years now. And I can say without a doubt, that gap that we see next season between players who are maybe starting in their starting 11 just because they're fit enough to last 90 minutes against players who maybe they're technically better, but they can't get through 90 minutes and they're sitting on the bench, that gap is 100% created in the off season because one of those players has done the work and he's built what he needed to build. He's improved his strength, but he's also improved his weaknesses. The other player's kind of switched off and then gone into pre-season thinking he's going to be at that same level, but he's probably got a shock and suddenly he's on the bench. So if you're someone who actually wants to kind of maximize this window properly, and not just drift through the next 8 to 10 weeks. This is exactly what we are going to do starting in May. We are launching the non-league upgrades. It is an 8-week off-season program, which is going to allow you to get a little taste of how we coach our players on a one-to-one basis, working directly with me. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your level is, where you live in the world, we're able to support you. We've helped almost 1,000 players to date, help them improve their performance, improve their fitness, their strength, their speed, their power, their mindset, their confidence, their nutrition, their recovery for football. And over 8 weeks, we're going to help you do exactly that, so that when you show up to that first preseason session, you are head and shoulders above everyone else. And you've got that quiet confidence knowing that you've done the work, and now you're going to be able to sharpen the blade, so to speak, for that preseason block, where you can then go and have an incredible 26-27 season. If you want access to this, if you want more details on it, you know where to find me. You can DM me on Instagram at coach_Cayman, also on TikTok at coach_Cayman, or you can comment somewhere around this video, probably below it. Just comment the word 8-week, and I will send you all the details that you need to be able to make a decision whether you want to come on board. It's launching in May, which is about a week away now from the time of recording this. If you're listening to this a little bit further down the line, hopefully it's not too late and you haven't missed that window, but reach out to me and we'll have a chat. I wish you guys all the best. Now's the time to get to work. Don't miss this window of opportunity. I will see you guys next week. Very, very exciting news. We've got 2 special guests coming on over the next 2 episodes. I'm not going to release their names just yet. However, one is an American strength and conditioning coach. He works with high school athletes. I'm really excited to sit down with him and look at the differences and similarities between how high school, college athletes train at a top level, and also how I train my UK-based and Europe-based non-league footballers, and how we what are the similarities, what are the differences, how do the principles apply across the board, because he's been doing this a long, long time. I have as well. We're going to really go in depth on how this looks, and hopefully give you guys some tips that you can take away and implement into your own training. And then the episode after that, we've got a professional footballer coming on board, which I cannot wait for, but I'm not going to reveal any names yet. I will probably do that on my socials in the coming week or so. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. You will not want to miss these ones. Hope you guys have a good one. Take it easy.